Hi there. Welcome to my YouTube channel. In this video, I will be reviewing the Huawei Watch GT 3 Pro. Huawei keeps the GT family of wearable devices alive. The GT is for the Gran Turismo automotive style, although in reality, we find the smartwatch halfway between sporty and elegant, depending mainly on the style of the straps we choose. The interesting thing is that this Huawei Watch GT 3 Pro comes with improvements when it comes to detecting the user's activity, especially for interval exercises or interspersed moments of high intensity and more relaxed situations. We tell you all about this €370 smartwatch below. For this third edition of the Huawei Watch GT 3 Pro, the Chinese company has presented two models. On the one hand, there is the titanium edition, with a dial built in this material and, most importantly, a 1.43-inch AMOLED screen, and a ceramic edition model, which in this case stays at 1.32 inches. Something that could focus on the classic model for men, large, and the smaller model for women. Although it depends on each wrist. In fact, after testing it in my flesh, I would choose the ceramic edition to fit more closely to the size of my wrist. Of course, in addition to the titanium material, there are notable differences in the interchangeable straps that accompany these watches. The titanium one arrives with a black fluoroelastomer rubber touch band or in a sleeker gray leather version. In the case of the ceramic edition model, the options are white ceramic or white leather. In addition, they come loaded with different dials to match the external aesthetics of the devices. In both models, we find a back-built ceramic that prevents allergic reactions and prolonged contact with our skin. In addition, the sensors are protected by a sapphire crystal that is not only resistant but also prevents interference and helps these sensors to collect information from our bodies more reliably. This sapphire crystal, similar in hardness to diamond, is also the material used to protect the watch face in both cases. So accidental strikes should not be a problem. Even more so considering that it is a product focused on sports practice. The technological novelties come to this Huawei Watch GT 3 Pro in its logical part. Huawei's algorithm, Truisine 5.0 Plus, responsible for collecting and processing data from sensors, or PPG 5.0 system has improved significantly over the previous edition. It is now capable of processing up to 4 times the volume of data. And it does so more realistically, reducing the rate of signal loss that can occur with the movement of the wrist while practicing sport. In more mundane words, it will more concretely, quickly, and realistically measure our heart rate, the oxygen transport in our veins, and the stress on our body during exercise. Never mind that there are rapid interval changes between high and lower exercise intensity. Everything is more agile and therefore measured more realistically, reflected in real time on the watch display and also in our training history. Huawei has already accustomed us in its GT range to measure a good number of sports and types of exercise. Just click on the bottom button to find elements as diverse as diving, jumping rope, exercise bike, rowing, or even golf. However, the priority still seems to be running. We say this because this Huawei Watch GT 3 Pro has a detailed ROI analysis that helps to understand the statistics and capabilities of the runner. Something that does not remain in a simple report with interesting data for those who train, but is also reflected in the personalized assistant for running workouts. Run Plan with AI is the name of the Huawei Health app. Thus, following the progress of the runner, this watch can adapt the workouts, increase the intensity, and help improve specific exercises for each case. In addition, in this third Pro edition, there is a pre-installed application to measure the user's lactic capacity. A 20 to 30 minutes workout that measures the user's reaction capacity and helps to understand the limits and capabilities of your body. Useful to know the improvements over time. Of course, there are also tools focused on more casual users. On the one hand, there is now an application for detailed tracking of the menstrual cycle. On the other, Healthy Life allows you to receive recommendations and suggestions and achieve goals around rest, activity, and relationships. Huawei continues to maintain its standard in the autonomy of wearables. This is to be welcomed. The battery of the Huawei Watch GT 3 Pro and the titanium model remains at 14 days with regular use, continuously measuring the pulse and other details of the user's body, and staying up just over a week of autonomy if intensive use is made, with daily exercise measurements. Slightly behind is the ceramic edition model, with 7 days of normal use and 4 days of intensive use. The Huawei Watch GT3 Pro will be available for purchase soon. The titanium edition will cost €370, while the ceramic edition will cost €500 in leather and €700 in ceramic. Here ends our review on Huawei Watch GT3 Pro. We hope you find it very useful. If you have any suggestion, kindly share with us in the comments section. Also, do not forget to like, share and subscribe to our channel. Please click on the notification bell in front of the subscribe button to turn on notification for this channel, so as to notify you when I post new video. Thank you for watching.